Hello everyone, welcome back to Base Damage and welcome back to Community Fridays. This week we have an Azur lane deck shared in the Base Damage Discord by Audrey, aka Palmer's Trainer. Also, Major O Palmer, very awesome horse. They had posted this in here a little while back, and I am just now getting around to it because I took a break over Christmas and all that jazz. It is called These Are the Voyages of the Consyn Enterprise deck. So let us go ahead and jump right into it. This involves a lot of the Azur stuff from Volume 2, and I already see the Enterprise. This is such a crazy card, so I already know what this does, but I'm very curious as to what the rest of the stuff in here, like how it synergizes and what they have done to cook with this deck. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We have 4 copies of Laffy 2. I don't know if I should say the second or just 2 there, because it's the Roman numeral for 2, obviously. I should know. So 3, 2, 5, 5. If you have 4 or more constant characters, this gets minus a level in your hand. Very easy early play conditions. Place on stage from hand, choose up to 1 constant character in your clock. Put it at the bottom of your deck, so heals from clock to the bottom of the deck. And if the total levels of cards in your level is 6 or higher, this gets 4,500 power until end of turn, making her a 10k, quick maths. When this becomes reversed in battle, you may return this card to your hand. So you just can replay it, basically. You can just keep healing over and over and over. So, interesting. Okay. Kind of cool. It does suck that there's like no defensive utility to this whatsoever. It's just the fact that it bounces back to hand is really good. But at that point, you've done what you needed to do. Like, she's big for a turn. You've done what you needed to do. You've healed, all that jazz. So, okay, understandable. I feel this is, like, basically their Alice, quote-unquote. Not to the same utility level as Alice from Nikkei. I understand that. But it's the only equivalent that I can really think of, because I don't remember what other... no, there was the Nagato. There's Nagato, which is green, but because Enterprise needs yellow and blue cards, this is basically what you have to use, which is understandable. We have 2 copies of Kronstadt. Is a 3/2 10k. Up to 1 time per turn during the turn this card is placed on stage from your hand. At the end of this card's attack, if you have 4 or more other constant characters, you can pay the cost. Pay 2, pitch 1, and then sack another character to restand her, which is really nice considering that her second effect does give her like an attack boost for with experience, but you don't need experience for the restand effect, which is really nice. On attack, if experience is 6 or higher, she gains 3k, which is obviously going to be very relevant when you take into account the restanding and everything, but whatever, as long as they don't have memory kick, you really don't care whether you get that or not. So, but it's very nice to make her a 13 off that. 4 copies of Aircraft Carrier Enterprise. 3/2 10k, heals 1 on play. Oh boy. When this attacks, if Brave Eagles We Fight Until the End is in your climax area, freedom, and the total level of cards in your level is 6 or higher, you can pay the cost. Pay 2, put a card from your hand into the waiting room. That's it. There's no other cost for that other than the experience being 6. If you do, during that attack, perform a trigger check 2 times. Meaning that pays for the cost. It pays for the stock cost just because you don't pay out the trigger or whatever. It just, you do that and you immediately get it back, which is insane. And this gets the following ability until end of turn. Up to 2 times per turn, when this card's trigger check reveals a yellow or blue Consyn character, you may deal 3 damage to your opponent. This is very easily going to be trigger, burn 3, trigger, burn 3, then her damage of however much that is depending on your triggers. Like, that's actually crazy. And the entire deck is blue, dabba-dee-dabba-die. So you know for a fact that's going to pop off. It's just with constant characters, so as long as you don't have the climaxes, which you're playing 1, so you know that you only have to worry about 7 copies of climaxes for this, it's whatever. You're more than likely going to get it. So really powerful, really awesome card. Next, we have Guam, 3/2 10k. Total levels, if your experience is 6 or higher, this gets 1,000, and during this card's battle, you cannot receive damage by the auto effects of your opponent's characters. That's relevant. That's very interesting. Also, considering the second effect is just really good utility. When this is placed on stage from your hand, look it up to X cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 card amongst them, add it to your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. X equals the number of constant characters you have. You basically just summon her last to dig for climaxes, maybe dig for more copies of Enterprise, whatever you need. This first effect, it probably goes unchecked by a lot of people. During this card's battle, You cannot receive damage by auto effects. Doesn't state your turn. Just says during this card's battle. Meaning if it somehow were to happen on your turn or your opponent's turn, you just don't take burn. Someone's going to put something in front of her thinking, oh, this is an easy target, and they're going to not RTFC. That's hilarious to me. All right, so that's funny. Getting to the level 2s, we have, it's Russian Chkalov. If I mispronounced that, I'm so sorry. Me gusta. 2/16K, I'm horrible. Choose one of your opponent's characters, return it to their hand. Oh, it's an act. Sorry. Sack this to the waiting room, then you can bounce back a character. Experience. Rest this. If you have 5 or higher experience, choose one of your characters. That character gets 1,000 power. And when the battle opponent becomes reversed, you may put that character at the bottom of your opponent's deck. Bottom deck removal is really powerful, actually. And then, so you give a buff, and you give the removal, and then she can still remove something afterwards as well. So, really, really good level 2 there, actually. We have a 2/1 Hornet, 45. Level assist in front. Oh, this is a trial deck. And then act, rest this. Look at top 2 of your deck. Put them back in any order. This does matter to a degree. I mean, I say it matters. It's helpful. It's very helpful because of the Enterprise. If you just happen to see, oh, look, one of the top 2 cards is a Climax. Okay, let me put the Climax on top. Let me swing with something else that isn't Enterprise, maybe Kronstadt or something first. Then we can swing with the Enterprise and make certain that we get stuff. Or if you see, oh, look, if they're both characters, cool, swing with Enterprise first. Type deal. So it's very helpful. It may not be like game breaking, but it's very helpful. Also, you get the attack buff. All right, 4 copies of Bremerton. This one's been around for a minute. This is from the first set, I think. If I'm wrong on that, I'm so sorry. Wait, I guess I can confirm right now. It's E101 versus E099. Okay, so this is from the first set. So if you check the numbers are different. I knew for a fact that the other was from Volume 2, but this is Volume 1. Based on stage from hand, if you have another constant, gets 2k, so she'll be a 1065. The other, it's 8 pants deck, so with the other pants, she'll be 7/5. When this attacks, if after school aces in your climax area, 2 or more other constant characters, put the top 2 cards of your deck in the waiting room, choose a level X or lower constant character in your waiting room, return it to your hand. X is equal to, if X is equal to 2 or higher, this gets +1 soul. X is equal to the total level of the cards put into your waiting room by this effect. So you mill 2, add the levels together, salvage back something according to that level. If it happens to be 2 or higher, she gets a bonus soul on top of that, which can be relevant because it's like, okay, cool, I have plenty of level 2 targets first off, but then I can just grab other stuff if I, like, whatever, you can grab level 2 or lower, it doesn't matter. But then you're also, like, swinging for 3 damage at, like, level 1. Like, that's actually really strong if you think about it. So, 4 copies of that, 3 copies of Biloxi. She cute. So 1045, when this attacks, if there's a climax in your climax area, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level 1 or higher, put it into your stock. You do need the stock to like drop the Enterprises, and then they pay for themselves. When this attacks, if there is no climax and you have another constant, this gets 3k until end of turn. So she either possibly gives you extra stock, or she gets like to be a 75, which is huge. Okay, cool. 3 copies of Battleship New Jersey. She's not a level 3 in this. So 00500. When this is placed on stage from hand, discard a card. If you do, reveal the top card of your deck. Choose a level X or lower character. X is equal to the level of the reveal card. Add it back to your hand. If X is 2 or higher, you may draw 1 card after all this is said and done. If you do, choose a card in your hand and put it into your waiting room. So you get to salvage back something. Then and if it's 2 or higher, then you get to draw a card. But then if you drew a card, you do it to discard a card afterwards as well. So a little bit of hand filtering, really nice there. 8 pants, you probably have like extra cards to pitch for it anyway. Totally fair. 3 copies of Yorktown Second. She is also very, very beautiful in this updated dress. 002K. When a climax is placed in your climax area, look at the top card of your deck, put it on top or at the bottom of your deck, or into your waiting room. Oh, so you get to choose just where it goes at that point. So that's very useful, once again, for the Enterprise setup, because if you do this with the Enterprise setup, and you play the combo, I still can't words. You play the combo. I will get it eventually. You go, oh, look, it's a climax. Let me just go ahead and send that to my waiting room. Like, just outright, go ahead, send it to the waiting room. You're Gucci. Also, when your climax triggers, you can pitch a climax to salvage back a blue character, which is perfect for 8 pants because you can then get the pants, you can get the extra climax, then pitch it for this cost. So, very cool there. 3 copies of Laffy. This is also from the trial deck. 0015. Place on stage from hand. If you have another consen, gets 2k. When this is put into your waiting room from the stage, you can discard a card, look up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, add a level 1 or higher card amongst them to your hand, rest go to waiting room. Very nice. 3 copies of Cleveland, aka Cleve Bro. This is a 0015. When this is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1, put a constant character from your waiting room at the bottom of your clock. If you do search your deck for a level 1 or lower character, it is a Ricky, but it is the damage comes from your waiting room, which is so nice. At the beginning of your climax phase, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is level 2 or higher, all of your constant characters get 500 power till end of turn. Sometimes it matters. We'll see. Then we have 2 copies of Bristol. I'm thinking NASCAR for a second there. 0015, place on stage from hand. If your opponent's center stage has 1 or less characters, you may choose 1 cost 0 or lower character in their center stage, put at the bottom of their deck. A little extra removal. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1. If you do search your deck for up to 1 climax, reveal it to your opponent, then choose a climax in your hand and put it back into the deck and then shuffle. So, climax swapper from deck. Very nice. 4 copies of San Jacinto. I'm certain there's a specific pronunciation for that, and I'm butchering it. 0015, place on stage from hand. You can choose a card in your hand and put it in your stock. And a Brainstorm, pay 1, rest this, mill 4 for each climax, get to salvage back a character from waiting room. Very nice. And then 2 copies of Montpellier is a 0015. All of your other constants get 500. When this card is placed on stage from hand, pay 1, pitch 1, search your deck for a constant character. Very basic, like drop searcher, but very good. Always nice to have. And then a little extra global 500 on top of that could come in hand. Could come in clutch, especially like, Bremertons or whatever. There's nothing else really buffing them that early on type deal. 4 copies of After School Ace for the level 1 Bremerton combo, and 4 copies of Brave Eagles, We Fight Till the End. I salute you. For the Enterprise combo. That is going to be it for the deck. I very much like looking at a lot of the updated Azure decks now that Volume 2 is out and everything. It is so cool. So, obviously, we know Enterprise is busted, and this just capitalizes on that. So, a lot of cards that do have a really nice synergy with it. So, that's really good to see there. So, that is going to be it for us today. Thank you very much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. And thank you very much to Audrey, aka Palmer's Trainer, for sharing this in the Base Damage Discord. If you want to share your own deck profiles as well, feel free to join the Base Damage Discord. Link will be in the description. We have 2 different channels. There is a Decklist Submissions and a Community Fridays channel specifically. You can post it in either one of those, and if I like it, I'll take it from either channel. It doesn't really matter. But there are some times where people just want to post up a deck profile without specifically taking Community Fridays in mind. But if you post it in either, I will grab from either. Just saying. If I like the deck, obviously. So make something unique, make something fun. That's what I always like to say. So thank y'all very much once again, and we will see y'all another day. Stay safe, and remember to stay based.